pretending to be us. Read that.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38.
Read on.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
So this is a law that set us apart from everybody else. Read.
That they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
It can be any shade of blue, but it has to be blue. We're following commandments. So this is another example how you can tell a false prophet from a real prophet.
That's right.
Right here, we are actually wearing God's law.
That's right.
Read it, finish that out.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So the purpose of the fringe is to remember God's commandments. Read.
And do them.
And perform God's commandments. Read.
And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes.
That means your own vain philosophies, your own opinions. It feels good. I like it because, I don't know, I just like it. That's sin. That's what that's showing you. These fringes are a safeguard. When you in the thinking crazy, you're supposed to look down at your fringes and remember the commandments. That's the purpose of us wearing it. Read.
After which ye used to go a whoring.
That a whoring is spiritual whoring. So, brother, do you have any questions? Because we're out here for the edification of our people. So who are you? What's your nationality?
Black.
So your father is black, so-called. Okay. So if you look on the sign, who are you? Come on, bro. We are not here to fight. We're not here to bash. Come on. I'm being very sincere right now. Top one, so you'll be Judah. That's your nationality.
That's right.
That's your God-given name. Judah is God's praise. So with African American, do you know where that name came from? Two Caucasian men. One Africanus Scipio Africanus, which was a general that won in the Second Punic Wars. He domesticated the Canaan, that's the landmass, and he called it after his own name, which is Africa. That's not who you are. And then Americo Vespucci is where America, the word America comes from. This name was called Assyria in the Bible. It wasn't America. Assyria. It wasn't America. So that's why you're putting two Caucasian men names to label you. So can two Caucasian men or Edomites make a so-called Jake or so-called black baby?
It's impossible.
It's impossible. And then that's sodomy. You can't make a baby with two men. It's crazy. All right, get it.
Psalms 48, verse 11. Their inward thought is.
So this is the inward thought of the Edomites. The Edomites are the so-called white people. I want to keep it biblical because their biblical name is Edom.
That's
they ain't
right.
white. There ain't nothing white about them. They red as hell.
Right.
That's what Edom means, red. You know.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
So this is their inward thought.
That their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
So what we just brought out, isn't that true? According to the Bible, in history, if you were to look back, the name of the landmasses are named after Edomite or so-called Caucasian men.
Right.
It's named after them. So that's a true statement. Finish it out.
Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish.
So this Edomite, he's worthless. He ain't no God. So that's why he wants his name to reside in a place so you can always remember, good old slave master. It's a mindset thing. That's why we're out here, to change the mind of our people. Stop selling on the Sabbath.
Right.
Stop selling drugs to our people.
Right.
Stop, change your clothing. I mean, we got article of clothing that we have to wear. Did you know that?
You said about the
just fringes. Yeah. What about the women? What do they have to wear? Let's get that. Deuteronomy 22:5. Bring it out. Because this Bible shows us always, like, really how to build ourselves up from a decayed state to a God-like nation. That's the purpose of it. It's to teach us God's laws, to perform them, and exalt God's laws through our actions. That's the purpose. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Read on.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So what pertains to a man? What clothing pertains to a man? What clothing pertains to a man, belongs to a man. That's what pertains to. Pants. We don't.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So what's a woman's garment that a man should not wear?
What, the dress?
A dress, bra, panties, all that. You know that they're making men's dresses now? That's foolishness. That's going against God's laws. The other nations know who we are. Actually, give me that in Judah. The other nations know who we are. They have everything set up for us to fall in the midst of sin, so our Heavenly Father will not come down. Because we made an agreement with our Heavenly Father. If we stay out of sin, He's going to support us. If we're in sin, He's going to turn His back on us.
Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Read. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor.
So let me give you the history. This is the book of Judah. This is a Amorite chief captain that was speaking to Holofernes, which was a very high-ranked captain for the Babylonian king. So, the Ammonite chief speaking to Holofernes. So he's going to give you the history of the Israelites in a brief summary. Read.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people,
so if there's any sin in this people, the Israelites, read,
and they sin against their God,
and if we transgress or break the laws of our God, read,
let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
That's going to be our ruin. Why? Read.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
So, this Ammonite is actually explaining our history. If we're out of sin, God is going to protect us. If we're in sin, we're going to be left up for the other nations to overtake us. Read, finish it out.
Let my Lord now pass by.
So don't mess with them. Read.
Lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
So the other nations do know about us. So, bro, did you have a question? Because he was here first, bro. Do you have a question? Or are you inebriated? Okay. Brother. All right.
Listen, I got a question, right? I was talking to a brother. Now, listen. Look at Gomer, right? Okay, look at Ham and Sam and Jack. Look at Gomer, right? Okay, now, I look up at the Ashkenazis. So, before Abraham, who are these people? The Ashkenazis, Ashkenazis. You know, this is before Abraham, or who's called the Hebrew, received the. So, who are these who call themselves Jews? And the Ashkenazis, and until my, it's the Bible right now. Look up, what's the verse you showed me?
Actually, I got a question I'll answer.
So wait, I got one more question. Listen, whether Hebrew, okay, listen. My understanding, the Hebrews written themselves into the book.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Because you're saying so much. Okay, listen. So we gotta tackle it in pieces, right? So you're worried about the actually before Genesis, right?
Right.
Okay. So give me
they come from
Deuteronomy chapter 12. Hold on, bro. Give me Deuteronomy 12.
I'm dead.
No, actually, give me Matthew 19.
Need you, baby.
Start at 17.
Matthew 19.
Yes. Because, bro, knowing about that history, how is that going to benefit your nation?
It doesn't.
So
it's just a question I have.
So what's the point?
Because the point, the reason I think it's like
drop that. Give me Sirach 3 and 20. I gotta go. Because, bro, the thing is,
you gonna be over there?
Brother, I'm about to answer your question.
I'll be over there.
Give me Sirach 3, 21. Because this is the thing, we're out here for the edification of our people, to show them that the God's chosen, and to show them that what's required of them is to do God's law. Read that.
Sirach chapter 3, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee.
So if that's too hard for you to understand, which it is, because I don't see any laws on you, you're not supposed to seek after those things until you do the research and perform God's laws. And what? And yes, and the white man did steal our history. That's why they're claiming to be Jewish now. Finish it out.
Neither search for the things that are above, thy strength.
That is above your strength, brother. Because you're worrying about, brother, pay attention, bro. You're worrying about the history of the Khazars versus your own salvation. How is that going to get you salvation?
That's right.
You don't stop.
But what is commanded thee, think thereupon and reference.
So you've been here plenty times. What was it that we, the prophets of the Most High, told you out of the Bible that the Most High God commanded you to do? What? Because you've been here plenty times. You ask deep questions and you never do God's law.
That's right.
That's hypocrisy. How in the world you gonna come up to the prophets of the Most High God? You're not doing law 1, and then you want to know the deep things in the Bible. That's stupid. Why are our people so pride hungry on knowledge? I want to know it.
Finish that out. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 21. For it is not evil for thee. Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
That's unnecessary for you because you have to be on the Most High God's laws right now. We don't.
For more things are showed unto thee.
More things are shown to those that do God's commandments versus those that don't.
Then men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Who was Osiris?
Bro,
Hold on, listen, I'm just asking. Hold on, see? I have to ask you a question. Okay, listen. Okay, what was the age of Anunnakis and Osiris?
Matthew chapter 19 verse 17. And he said unto him, why thou callest me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
if you want to enter into life, keep the commandments. The deepest question you would have asked us was how to perform God's commandments.
That's
how
right.
to eat fringes, how to grow a beard. Because I'm tired of you coming out here and we keep telling you, grow a beard.
That's
I've
right.
not done it. Stop asking us deep questions. Finish it out, bro. This is the mindset of the Negro. They want to know so much, but they still in the ghetto. They
That's
don't have
right.
a job. They're not performing God's laws. That type of mindset, we're trying to change. That's why we're out here. Read. But I'm short with him. He been out here plenty times. How can I get the kingdom? He never asked that. Read.
He saith to him, which Jesus said, thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So these are laws that we have to keep.
Right.
Not to sleep with another man's wife. Not to kill another man. Read.
Thou shalt not steal.
We ain't supposed to be stealing from one another. Read.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
We're not supposed to lie on one another. This is coming out of Christ's mouth. Read.
Honor thy mother and honor thy father and thy mother.
We're supposed to honor our parents because they were commanded in Deuteronomy 6 and 7 to teach us God's laws. That's what we're supposed to be doing. With all this crack, drugs, hatred out here, that's why our people ain't changing. Because their mindset got to change.
Right.
Give me that. Psalms 19:17. Because the mindset of our people have to change. It's too much stuff in the world going on for us not to see it. It's too much. Read.
Psalms 19 verse 7.
Read on.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
The law of the Lord is perfect. There's no law that is more perfect than the Most High God. Read.
The law of the Lord is perfect,
Read on.
converting the soul.
Read.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So it will turn a simple man wise if you study and perform God's laws. Why don't y'all want to be wise? You want to sell drugs. You want to lust after sisters. You want to teach hatred in your dress code, as well as speaking one to another. That's not supposed to happen.
Right.
All right, give me Exodus 23 and 12. Because it's a brother that came up early that said, who wrote the Bible? The Bible is the book of the law.
Right.
Let's get that. Read.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 12.
24:12.
Exodus chapter 24, verse 12.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses,
Read.
come up to me into the mount.
So Moses came up to God in the mount. Read.
And be there, and I will give thee tables of stone.
So God gave Moses tables of stone. Read.
And a law and commandments which I have written.
Which who has written?
Which I have written.
Which who has written?
Which I have written.
So this is showing that the Lord wrote the commandments.
That's right.
And he gave it to Moses to write. So it's already written before. Finish that out.
That thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went unto the mount of God.
So this is showing you that the laws were already written by the Most High God. Bro, do you have any questions? Because we're out here for the repentance of our people, for our people to come back to being God-given names versus slave names. That's why we're out. Not out here to bash our people. We actually love our people. That's why we're out here. I actually give me that in Leviticus 19:17. Because bashing, that's calling our people names and using words outside the Bible. That's what bashing is. All right, give me that.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Read.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
And how we're not supposed to hate. It's going to show us how not to hate.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So rebuke is correction. We're supposed to correct our neighbor in God's laws. That's showing them love in the Bible. So we are showing the highest form of love out here. We love our people enough that we come out to the ghetto to teach them God's law. That's our job. We're not American blacks. This was a byword put in Deuteronomy 28:37. This was a byword put on our people. We're actually Judah. Because if you read in Genesis 49, that's like a map of where all Jacob's sons were going to be in the last days. That's where this chart comes from. It comes from Genesis 49 and Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment,
Read.
a proverb, and a byword.
So a byword is a name given out of your God-given name. Our God-given name was Judah. The byword that was placed on us was American blacks. It's a byword. Finish that up.
Among all nations, whether the Lord thy God shall lead thee.
Because there's a lot of Caucasians, if you watch CNN or Fox News sometimes, like glance at it, they always say the blacks, the blacks. It's not our name. That's not our name. Our name is Judah. It's not black. This is a color. We are brown. How are we black? Explain that to me. How are we black? That's a byword put on us. So give me the slave ships. Because in slavery we were scattered in certain areas, right? We were scattered in certain areas. And we got named in those certain areas. So we don't.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord our God was going to bring us into Egypt. This time again, but ships. But let's get what Egypt means. Because it's actually a Greek word that means something.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2.
Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous, so it means the same thing as bondage, slavery, or captivity. That's what Egypt means. Because the name of this of the landmass wasn't Egypt. It was actually called Mizraim, if you read in Genesis. So go back.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
We don't.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord our God was going to bring us into slavery or captivity, but this time with ships. Now, I have a question. What group of people, sis, come on. Come over here, sis. Come on, sis. You already been here. You should be doing the laws. We already talked to you last week. So, what group or nationality of people went into slavery in cargo slave ship? The so-called black people, right? Did you know that the Native Americans went into slavery on slave ship? When Christopher Columbus came over here, you know they came with chains. They already knew that our brothers was over here. They came with chains, rounded them up, sent them to Spain, and then everybody wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's garbage.
That's right.
They destroyed your brothers, slapped chains on them, took them away from their land, put them in Spain, raped, robbed, and murdered them, and you want to celebrate Thanksgiving. That's garbage. Read on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the so-called Hispanics, they've been in the same boat. They was actually taken by the conquistadors. So those three major group of people line up with biblical prophecy, showing that according to their geographical location, because yeah, we're scattered all over, we are. But the bulk of us is over on this side of the planet. So we don't.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Moses actually told them how they was going to get there through the transatlantic slave trade and the Saharan slave trade. Did you know that the Arabs and the Africans had us in slavery, traded us to the so-called Caucasians or Edomites? Then they shipped us over here. Did you know that? Yeah. So they are enemies. They ain't no friend to me. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt sin no more again. It's there.
All right, the it is our homeland, which is Jerusalem, not Africa. Give me that real quick. Because a lot of people have a misinterpretation that we came from Africa. That is not even scientifically proven. Everybody did not reside from the land of Africa. That's false. That is a false claim that the so-called science of Esau is pushing throughout the world. That's false.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26.
Read on.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
So Jerusalem is above every nation on this planet. That's why they're fighting over it right now. All these wars are over us. Right. All of them.
That's right.
They're over us returning back to our homeland. Read it out.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
Read.
Which is mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the motherland of the so-called Negroid people. And I'm talking about the Israelites. Meaning if you Negro, so-called, if you Hispanic, so-called, if you Native American, so-called, that is your homeland, Jerusalem.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.